a séance was held in the great house of Collinwood, a séance which sent Victoria Winters back on an uncertain and frightening journey to the past, back to the Collins family who lived in the year 1795. It is a time of intrigue and terror in the old Collins mansion. The family fears the presence of a witch in the house, and a decision has been made to find and destroy her.
Miss Winters was bound securely to the tree. She could not possibly have freed herself. Someone must have untied those ropes for her.
Are you suggesting, Reverend, that it was someone in this house, a member of this family?
I'm saying that whoever helped her escape is also in league with the devil. And that can mean only one thing.
And what is that, sir?
That there is more than one agent of Satan at work here. We are dealing with a coven of witches. They must all be found out and destroyed, one by one.
And how do you propose to do that, sir?
I shall start by interrogating every person in this house.
Do you mean to say that you think this coven of yours is to be found here?
I did not say it would be, sir. But I would point out to you that at a time like this, no one should be above suspicion. Do I have your permission to proceed at once, Mr. Collins?
I must ask you not to let this regrettable situation go out of your control.
What do you mean?
I expect you to exercise sound judgment and to proceed with full caution.
Mr. Collins, my knowledge in these matters is the result of many long years of experience.
The prestige of the Collins family name, sir, is the result of many long years of hard work, dedication to high principles, and the devotion to God. A scandal must not be risked at any cost. Do you understand that?
Completely, sir.
Very well. And I place my house at your disposal. You may begin whenever and with whomever you choose.
Mr. Collins, am I to understand that you're taking this gentleman seriously?
That is correct, sir. If there is a witch in this house, I want her removed.
And you are willing to subject your family and your guests to the embarrassment of being interrogated by this self-styled witch hunter?
I am confident that the Reverend will exercise proper discretion.
Now, a moment ago, he said there was no one inside this house who was above suspicion. Now, that hardly seems the remark of a discreet and responsible man.
I find your protestations most interesting, Mr. Dupre. I must ask you why you object to being interrogated in this matter.
I object because I find the whole matter to be utterly ridiculous.
This house has fallen under the spell of a witch. Everyone is involved.
I am a civilized man, sir. I come from a civilized country where such childish notions were cast out centuries ago. I refuse to be questioned by this man.
Mr. Dupre, you cannot deny that very strange and unusual things have been going on in this house.
No, I cannot.
Well, very well, then, whether they are the result of witchcraft or not. I am anxious to get to the bottom of it, and I fail to realize why you will not cooperate.
Perhaps the gentleman has a very good reason, Mr. Collins.
What do you mean by that, sir?
Refusal to cooperate could mean many things. A desire to protect oneself or to shield someone else.
The Reverend is implying that I might have something to hide.
Do you?
Don't be absurd.
Then what harm can there be in answering a few simple, direct questions?
None. It's a matter of principle.
Principle nonsense! I want this matter settled and done with. As the master of this house, I must insist that you submit to any questions that the Reverend put to you.
Very well. I'll go along with this nonsense.
Mr. Dupre.
But I trust the record, if there is to be a record, will show that I proceeded under duress. And also, we may be fortunate enough to show that I was questioned by a complete idiot.
Good day, Lieutenant.
Hello, Angelique.
How odd to see you here.
Odd? Why?
But this is the servants' entrance. Members of the family and their guests never go in and out here.
Oh, have I broken one of the rules of the house?
That depends on what you were doing in the kitchen.
Nothing. I was just passing through on the way out. Listen, if I have broken any rules, you won't say anything, will you?
Oh, what have you got there?
Where?
In that bundle.
Oh, nothing. This is just an old shirt. I was on my way out back to burn it.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No, why not?
Because it smells too delicious to burn. It smells almost good enough to eat.
All right, Angelique. I borrowed a little food from the kitchen.
Borrowed?
Yes, you won't tell anyone, will you? I just decided to go on a little picnic, and I was too lazy to go all the way into Collinsport to get my own provisions.
Do you always go on a picnic in the woods alone, Lieutenant? And in such cold weather?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'd like nothing better than the company of a pretty woman. Perhaps you'd like to come with me.
Perhaps. Some other time.
Oh, I'd like it to be now, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, I am sorry. I have duties to attend to in the house. You must excuse me.
Angelique, this will be our little secret, won't it?
Oh, don't worry, Lieutenant. I won't tell a soul.
Thank you. Someday I'll return the favor.
What a conceited fool you are, Lieutenant Forbes. You did not deceive me for a moment. I know you are taking that food to Victoria Winters.
All of the other servants were performing their duties when they were called. Why wasn't this, whatever her name is?
Angelique.
Yes, why is she suddenly missing?
Well, Reverend, she is not one of our servants. She belongs to the Dupre family.
The Dupre family. Even their servants' behavior is now suspect. What matter of people are these, anyway?
They are the richest and most influential family on the island of Martinique.
They are also arrogant and sacrilegious, if Mr. Dupre is any example.
Mr. Collins, my mistress said that you wanted to see me.
Are you Angelique?
Yes.
Where have you been?
I was walking in the woods.
You know who I am,
You're the Reverend Trask.
and do you know why I am here?
Well, everyone knows you are here to find a witch.
To find as many witches as there are here.
Is there more than one?
That is what I want you to tell me.
But I don't know.
We shall find out what you know and what you don't know. Sit down, girl. I am told you came here with the Dupre family from Martinique.
Yes.
Do you believe in the Almighty
Oh, of course.
and fear him?
Yes.
Do you consider yourself his obedient servant?
Yes, I do.
Then tell me what you know of the sorcery that has afflicted the people in this house.
I know nothing. Nothing at all.
Have you been baptized?
No, sir.
Why not?
My mother and father died when I was very young.
Why haven't the Dupre family had you baptized?
I don't know, sir.
I think you do know. Your answers are not at all satisfactory.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
You shall be sorrier still if you are trying to obstruct the will of God. Why were you walking in the woods?
I had no reason. I went to get some air.
Were you alone?
Yes.
Why? Do you always go walking alone in the woods?
Yes, but
What is there about the woods that makes you want to be there alone?
well, I don't know.
Yes, you know, all right. And before you leave this room, you're going to tell me. You're being evasive. You're trying to deceive me.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Then tell me why you were walking alone in the woods.
I told you I do not know.
There is something about the woods that fascinates you, that draws you to them. Isn't that right?
Why, I've never thought of it in that way before.
Perhaps there is someone you go there to see.
No.
Someone like the devil himself.
Oh, no. I go walking in the woods alone.
Everything must have a reason, and you have not given me one.
It is not to communicate with the devil. He has never tempted me, and he never will.
You mean he has tried?
Well, he tries to tempt everyone, does he not?
But you are too strong for him. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
The devil knows that my loyalty is to my God.
Is that what you've told him?
I've never seen him.
Not even in the woods?
No.
Then why do you go there?
If I told you, you would not believe me.
Tell me.
I go to the woods alone because it is quiet and peaceful, and I long to be close to communicate to God.
By your own admission, you have not even been baptized. How can you ever hope to be close to God?
Sometimes when I'm alone, I feel that I am. Sometimes I close my eyes and I hear voices and I see images.
Graven images.
Oh, no! Oh, you must believe me. I long to be a child of religion, to feel a part of it. And I do feel it. Now. At this very minute.
What are you talking about, girl?
I began to feel it a moment ago. Closer to God than I have ever felt in my life.
Open your eyes.
No. I begin to see something. My whole body is filled with a strange sensation. It must be religion. And Reverend, you are responsible. Oh.
Tell me what it is you see.
It's becoming clearer and clearer. Oh, I've never felt this way before in my life.
What is it, Reverend? What is happening to the girl?
She's either a complete charlatan or she is indeed having a spiritual revelation. Tell me what it is you see. Describe it to me.
It's a house.
What kind of a house? Where is it?
It's a very large house. And it's new. There's no one there.
Do you know of such a house, Mr. Collins?
Yes, Collinwood. It will be the family's new home when it's completed.
There's no one there. But I hear voices. A man and a woman are speaking.
Do you recognize these voices?
No.
How far is Collinwood from here, Mr. Collins?
It's on the hill overlooking the ocean, about 15 minutes walk from here.
I should like to go there at once.
What on earth for?
This child has just had a most amazing spiritual revelation. If I am not mistaken, the witch we are looking for will be found at Collinwood.
Ah, my humblest apologies, Miss Winters.
What for?
I forgot to bring you salt.
You're as hungry as I am. Lieutenant, I want to thank you for being so kind and helpful to me.
It's been my pleasure.
I hope you haven't put yourself in any danger by helping me.
Well, as long as no one knows about it, I can't be in any danger.
Are you sure that no one saw you come here?
Positive. I had only one close call. Angelique saw me leaving the house with the food, but I made her promise not to tell anyone.
I'm sure she won't. How long do you think I'll have to stay here?
I don't know. Barnabas went to his father this morning, but apparently Abigail had gotten to him first. He's allowing Trask to stay.
No. If only there was some way that I could get back.
Back where?
Back to my world, back to my time.
You do say the strangest things.
There has to be a way. In order for me to come here, I had to transcend time and space. How could I do that? How?
Miss Winters, I don't know how or why you got here, or where you came from. But I do know that you'd better stop talking like that. Or pretty soon even your friends will begin to have doubts about you.
Forgive me, Lieutenant. I was just thinking out loud.
Well, you must stop doing that because the things you say make no sense whatsoever.
No. Of course, it couldn't make any sense to you. I should have stopped to consider that.
Well, it's not because I'm stupid that they make no sense. The things you say defy all logic and reason, transcending time and space. It's no wonder the Reverend is convinced that you're a witch.
I hope that you're not beginning to think I'm a witch.
Miss Winters, in spite of the way I sometimes behave, I do think of myself as an intelligent, open-minded person. No, I don't think you're a witch. But you are a most unusual person. In fact, I don't know what to think of you.
All I ask is that you think well of me. Please believe me when I say that I'm not a bad person.
Well, I don't know why, but that I do believe.
Then I can continue to count on your helping me?
Oh, yes. I won't tell anyone where you are.
The family will move in here as soon as the workmen are finished. In about another month.
Yes. I can sense it.
Sense what?
The girl was right. There is an evil spirit in this house. I can sense it. It would be a mistake for you and your family to move in here before the spirits have been driven out.
Just how does one go about sensing an evil spirit? I've always been curious about that.
What was that?
What?
I believe it came from in there.
Lieutenant Forbes, what are you doing in this house?
Well, Mr. Collins, I was,
Well, speak up, man.
Well, the fact is, sir, that Barnabas has spoken to me so often about the fine architecture of this house, I just was quite anxious to come over and have a look around.
It is customary to request the permission of the master of a house before one sets foot inside its door.
Yes, I know, sir. I'm sorry. I tried to look for you this morning. I couldn't find you.
Well, then you were incumbent to wait upon me until you did find me.
My apologies, sir. It will not happen again.
It had better not.
Where is she, Lieutenant?
Where is who?
The witch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't believe you came to this house to inspect the architecture, Lieutenant. I believe you have just lied to Mr. Collins because you are trying to protect the girl.
Is that true?
If he's referring to Miss Winters, I have no idea where she is.
You had better tell us the truth, Lieutenant. It will go better for you if you do.
I tend to agree with the Reverend, Lieutenant. Tell us why you are here.
Sir, I just told you that I
That
came over-
explanation is not satisfactory.
I suggest we search the entire house, room by room. Do I have your permission, sir?
By all means, Reverend. In fact, the Lieutenant and I will accompany you.
Are you workmen in the habit of leaving this window open to Mr. Collins?
They should not. I will speak to them about it.
That might not be necessary, sir.
What do you mean?
You don't allow your workmen to eat in this house, do you?
Certainly not.
Someone has been eating here. And I should say it hasn't been too long ago. The food is still quite fresh.